back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newest game in the Marvel United universe, and that is SpiderGeddon. This is a non-Kickstarter version of Marvel United, and it is a standalone game. So it can be played by itself, or it can be mixed in with any other version of Marvel United. So obviously this one is very spider themed. And let's just briefly talk about the characters that we're bringing into it, a couple of the new things that you might see in this game, and then we're going to play through a brief game of the Commander Solo mode, which is also new and introduced in this game, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. So first of all, here we have as one of the villains, we have Spot. That's who we're going to be playing against today. We also have Morlun here. Here's Morlun's dashboard. He basically is vampire-esque. All of his threat cards are henchmen, so very tricky to get around. He's probably the most difficult. I haven't played against Superior Spider-Man, though, but he actually is going around rescuing people, taking out henchmen, as well as taking shots at you. He's trying to do it better than you. And then there is Anti-Venom. Both Anti-Venom and Superior Spider-Man can be played as either heroes or villains. You can see all the locations we have here. Again, very Spider-Man themed. We also have Spider Island and Sims Tower that are just not in this game. You have cards for supervillain mode, and then the superhero cards that come along with that. And you also have equipment cards. So you'll see here, we're playing as Scarlet Spider in this solo game. So he has this web shooters here that says I can just use on my turn to either move or move somebody to me. But when I use it, I have to flip it over. And then here, I have to discard an action token to get it back. And supposedly these are an optional module, but I'll talk about why I feel like that shouldn't have been explained, or should have been explained better in the rule book. Let me bring the box back here because this is the easiest way to show off everybody all the spiders that are in the game. So we have the two anti-heroes, but you've got Spider-Punk, Silk, Spider-Man Noir, a Scarlet Spider who we're playing as, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Penny Parker. I think that covers everybody who is in the game. So each of them have their own unique deck style. But otherwise, this is still Marvel United. You're still moving around these 6 locations, taking out these threat cards, taking out 2 of these mission cards to eventually be able to attack said villain. Now, let's talk about Commander Solo mode and why this game was such a poor example to introduce it to the world. So in Commander Solo mode, you essentially take one hero, you take all of their cards, their deck, their equipment for that one hero, and their one minifigure, and that's it. Then you find 4 other friends in your deck. Now I have tons of Marvel United content, but I obviously wanted to show off as much SpiderGeddon as I could. You're supposed to find 4 other friends and go in and find 3 of their special ability cards. So these are going to be cards like this, where there's a unique ability at the top, and then there's the standard action symbol on the bottom. But the caveat with that is that you could not choose any starting hand cards. For example, this one here for Scarlet Spider, starting hand, these cards were introduced in the X-Men line of Marvel United. These usually have a passive or ongoing effect, and so they start in your hand and are helpful throughout the game. So I guess they didn't want all these passive effects floating around. Well, the problem is that so many of the heroes in this game, either they basically don't have 3 unique special ability cards that aren't starting hand cards. They either didn't have enough for me to meet the criteria of being able to find 3, or, for example, Spider-Man Noir, he has 6 total, but his literally, you play one and then the other one comes into effect. He's got target tokens, so you can play one special effect card to place a target on a henchman or a villain, and then you play the opposite card, which allows you to do double damage when that target token is placed. Me being only able to take 3, I basically would either have 2 targets to place on and 1 chance to make use of those targets, or vice versa. I'd have 2 chances to make use of 1 target I can play. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but as I'm reading them, I very quickly picked up on, all right, well, this guy's not going to work. I was able to find 3 because it also says that the supporting characters don't get their equipment. Well, this is one of the, this is the reason why I felt like they should have explained equipment better in the rulebook. Penny Parker has these 3 batteries. Now, my buddy and I, when we first cracked this open and played it just, right out of the box, we're both familiar with Marvel United. We felt like, okay, this is optional. We don't need the equipment. We're not going to deal with that right now. We just want to get into the Spider-ness. Well, I immediately started playing with Penny Parker and was like, well, where's my batteries? Are those tokens I'm supposed to get at the beginning of the game? No, they are equipment cards. Penny Parker is useless without her batteries. And you can see that she basically has 3. They're all the same. You use them to activate her special ability, and then they're done. So you have 3 options to use those special ability cards, which seems really silly because she has actually more cards in her deck than she has batteries for. So if you use up your 3 batteries, they are essentially gone. And I didn't see any cards that allowed you to get batteries back. So the rest of those cards are essentially rendered useless. There's another thing that I feel like was just poorly planned with the SpiderGeddon core box here. So we've got this solo commander mode that you can't even effectively do well with this core box. I get that they wanted to introduce a new way to play solo, but they definitely should have just waited for the multiverse line to do it with. But I digress. The last thing you get with the commander mode is these battle plan cards. So it says choose 0, 1, or 2, and that's your battle plan allowance. And then you can't go over that allowance. Well, okay, I just picked 2 1s. I guess they're not as good as, the 2s, but I get 2 of them. So I have these 2 passive abilities. At the end of the villain turn, you may discard 2 face-up supporting hero cards in the display to the bottom of the supporting hero deck. Basically, I can just shuffle through these if I feel like I'm not going to use what's here. I felt like that would be a good card to have, and so that'll just sit over here somewhere where I'll remember. And then here I can play a supporting hero card and forfeit all its actions and special effects to gain 2 wild tokens. I don't know how much I'm going to use that, but Scarlet Spider uses or can use wild tokens to ignore damage. So I thought it might be handy to have that option since I'm playing solo. All right. Whew. Brief overview of Spot. Spot essentially has these crisis tokens, which are like a shield for him. And so once we start hitting him on damage, we'll remove crisis tokens before we remove actual damage. And he also uses these Spot tokens. They're essentially like portals for him, where he may jump from he usually will follow them in alphabetical order. So he'll go A, B, and then jump over to C. They were randomly placed out here. Also, if he can't hit you with BAM because you're in a spot, he will just start working his way down the alphabet until he does hit you, which is unfortunate because I'm playing solo, so there is only one of me to get rid of. So this may not have been the best person to play true solo commander with, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't played against Spot yet. I don't know how many. Maybe he just doesn't have as many BAM cards in here. Otherwise, that's essentially he's getting a free shot at me, and no matter what. This is not going to be a rules overview for Marvel United, but hopefully you can pick up on what's happening here as we go along. So I guess I really need to get Scarlet. Well, no, I need to play Spot first. That's what I need to do. Okay, move to the location with the A token. All right, and then he's going to BAM. Well... Okay, so we read this and it says, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in Spot's location. If there are no heroes there, deal 1 damage to 1 hero in the location with the next Spot token in alphabetical order and with any heroes. So essentially that's a hit on me. So I am going to, I guess, discard a card here, and we'll see how well this goes. I just realized that I have not placed out any of my starting civilians and henchmen. So let me just do that real quick. And so now he's going to throw down this guy here, one of each here, and one henchman there. All right. So that is that. Now I get to play some cards. So one rule for commander mode is that immediately following the villain turn, I have to play one of my own cards. So I'm going to draw a card, and I'm going to make a choice here. More than likely, I'm going to choose this one here, which gives me a wild token. I'll set that down here for right now, and then allows me to move. I also have my web shooter here that would give me a move as well. So let's, I guess we will move here simply because this location is getting close to being full. And that's that. I'm not ready to use this. I think I'm going to be saving these to avert damage. Now, at this point, I could play one of these two cards. If I do, I don't draw into my hand. Otherwise, I would be able to continuously play out of here as often as possible and load up my hand for defensive purposes. You may punch, and then I would get a movement. I don't really need a movement. I'm already getting a movement. I should have saved this one for later. So we're just going to play this one. It's going to give me double tokens here I can play down. Boom, boom. Oh, I should have drawn a card since I decided I was playing over here. Okay. So, last but not least, we've got one more card to play, and I think we are going to draw a card and play this one. So we're going to play Great Power. I'm going to get 2 punches, and I'm also going to get 2 rescues. So I'm basically going to choose to clear this card first. Boom. Set that off to the side. This goes down here, and then I will get 2 punches, and this I also rescued this guy here. Okay, and then that card says for each henchman defeated with this special effect at the end of your turn, gain a punch token. All right, so now I got plenty of tokens here, and I have a move. But if I stay here, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to gain, and I don't feel like that's necessary because I'm already hurting. So I'm just going to go ahead and here right into the lion's den because this area is full as well. That's 3 cards for me, so we shall see what Spot does. He is moving to the location with the C token, so he's jumping over here to Parker Residence. He's going to bam, which we know is going to do damage to me, so I will discard this instead. And then he wants to put down some people. So fill up the Parker household with a good guy and a bad guy. I don't know how I feel about that in my own home here. And then 2 good guys on either side. So this location's full now. Interesting. Okay. So again, I am following up on a villain turn, so I have to play on my turn here. So I'm going to play a Scarlet Spider here. I will get 2 rescues, essentially, and I'm going to use them as rescues because it says for each person I rescue at the end of this turn, I will get 2 wild tokens. So I'm going to claim these now. I'll know not to spend them. And then I have 2 movement that I'm going to be able to do. I really don't need to do a lot of moving right now. So I think what I'm going to do is spend a punch. We'll throw this in over here to take this guy out. And yeah, I guess we should move, and come over here. Move, and that's all I got. Yeah. Okay. All right, I really don't like these. My battle plan card says at the end of the villain turn, you may discard these. So I've passed up that opportunity to be able to do that. So I guess we are sticking with the Scarlet Spider here. And we will play... What will we play? Yeah, I don't need all this movement in my hand or from these guys. So we'll play our double wilds here. We will use those wilds to, I guess, take out one of each here to keep the overflow from happening. And then I will move up to there. And I will go ahead and use one of my punches to take out one of these guys. All right, again, I don't really have a good use for this. I could use the anti-venom one. Yeah, let's do that. So we're actually going to stay put here, and I'm going to play my first card. So I can rescue up to 2 or hit 2. So there we go, boom, boom. And now I've got 2 wilds, so I'll use those to place down here, boom and boom. And then I have a movement again. I guess he's probably not going to stay put here. Again, it really doesn't matter to me where he ends up. So I've got 1 movement. Yeah, overflow shouldn't trigger in this location, so yeah, as long as this threat is in play, damage dealt to heroes during the villain turn is unpreventable. Ooh. Oh, wait. I did not realize that, so I couldn't have stopped that last one. I needed to give up a card and get my wild token back. So yeah, I'm going to stay put here, because I just need to start taking these KOs. I need to address these 3 threats up here. Wow. I did not read that one. My apologies. All right, we have played 3 times, so Spot gets to go. He is moving to A. All right. We know he's going to bam, which is going to knock me out. So this goes to the bottom. And, oh, I get another one of these cards. So, I'm knocked out, which is fine. I can't take any more. And he's putting some tokens down. And then we need to do the BAM effect. So he wants to put this one here, one of each here, and one right here. Okay. So his says, deal 1 damage, no. Oh, when a hero is KO'd before activating Spot's BAM, additionally draw a Master Plan card and add it face down to the storyline. And that's all that really can happen, because I'm the only one here. I am knocked out, so I can't take any damage. Until now, it's magically my turn. I will draw 4 cards. Now, do I want to shuffle these 2 cards out? These are getting me extra tokens. I do kind of like this, but I'm tired of the moves. So yes, let's get Penny Parker here. See, another thing is that I know what's coming here. I can see who's next on the list, and so Symbiote Spider-Man is very similar to Scarlet Spider-Man. Interesting. All right, but I got to play somebody from Scarlet Spider-Man here, and I want to clear this threat and then be able to move. So here we go. So this one is cleared. Guess I should stand back up again. This will come off. All right. And now I have 2 movement. Well, okay, let's jump all the way over to here. Okay, so now what do I want to do? I could use this. You may use 1 battery to gain that. That's getting me a ton of movement, though. I don't need movement right now. Yeah, I think we're going to use this one. Again, I don't need the movement, but I'm going to use 1, 2. Yeah, I don't quite want to complete this yet. 1, 2, and then I'm going to use my 3rd that I have to do that. That's going to give me 2 wilds. So I'm building up my wild tokens to be able to deflect damage at the end of the day here once I clear these threats. Is that all I wanted to do? No, I'm going to give 1 back and put 1 of these back and put a 2nd one out here because I want to be able to clear this threat after this time. So yeah, we're good there. Let's see here. We've got this body cleansing. Draw 1 card, then 1 hero in your location may discard all their crisis tokens. See, that's pointless. This card is pointless. I didn't look at it too hard, but it's not helping me at all in this mode. Again, they just did not decide to present you with this commander mode with the best expansion happening. So let's see what we got here. A movement and a thing, and then another movement. That just seems silly. End of turn. The top master plan card is not revealed. You may guess if it adds blank or blank, then reveal it if you guessed right. So yeah, let's do that. We'll play this. I can clear this one. This comes down, and then I will double. Wait, you may turn 1 of your equipment cards to recharge, then turn face up any other. No. Let's go here. So this is face down now. It's about to be played, and I'm going to guess a lot of his have been both. So I'm going to guess that it's henchman. Oh, adds more. Okay, so they did think of that. So I'm saying the red is going to be more prevalent, and I was wrong. Okay, so I don't get any wild tokens out of it. He is moving to E. So there we go. We know this is going to hit me, so we will get back a card. I'm very quickly running out of cards, though. I need to start playing from here more often. So we know he's doing that. He is bamming, and then he is putting out some people. So there is going to be an overflow. Let's go here and here first, and then we'll say henchman first, and then there's overflow. So it can't be added to a location. Deal 1 damage to each hero in that location. But that doesn't matter. So nothing else happens. I think we're good. Okay, we just had a villain card, so I'm going to cycle these cards based on my battle plan and draw 2 more. Ooh, okay, but I got to play one of my cards first. So let's see what we got here. I have a movement and a star, so I think it's going to be... Yeah, I think it's going to be this wild one. So a movement, and then we're just setting ourselves up with 2 stars. I need to clear these threats away. Okay, so now we can play stuff from here. I can punch in up to 3 locations with a civilian, but then discard 1 civilian from each of those locations. But this has a star. This one allows me to move, though, and rescue those 2 henchmen. But I think we're gonna use this one. This is a fun card. I played with Spider-Punk in our initial game, so I can punch this guy, and this guy. So that's 3 hits on these guys. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, I'm also going to be completing this, which unfortunately is going to fire off this clear threats thing. But then I also have to just discard. These guys don't, I think it was this guy. These guys don't, I don't get credit for rescuing them. But I've now gotten rid of all of these. So now I can start using up these wild tokens to defend myself. You may move to any other location. Interesting. So this is cleared now. I don't need these out anymore. That one's gone. Now I'm pretty sure that if I move, I can't use like, you know, this location as well. But where do I want to be? I want to be somewhere where I can rescue 2 civilians or punch 1 person. I'm going to have a rescue token to use. So let's come here. He always seems to move out of this location, so I don't think it's going to matter. All right, move to the B spot. There we go. He wants to bam. Now I will discard that to keep from being bammed, and we are putting out some people. So he wants to put out 1 of each. Basically has done 1 of each and then 1 type in the adjacent locations. Not very original here. All right, but I'm feeling very good about where we are. All right, he played his turn, so now I've got to play one of my cards. And I know I've got a rescue thing. Oh no, I didn't want to be here. I'm sorry. I need to be able to rescue 2 people. But that's fine. Let's see what we got here. I can move once and then punch, punch. Yeah, we can do it this way. So yeah, I'll rescue this guy. And then I'll move here and I'll punch this guy. And so there, we've cleared him. So the villain is now vulnerable. These guys can all go back in there. And I need to start playing from this deck because I'm running out of cards over here very fast. Yeah, I think we're going to use this one. So we are 1 away from spot. So we're going to move into spot's location with our movement. And then I have 2 punches here. So this is 2 crisis tokens away. Boom, boom. And I've got an extra punch here. And you may use 1 battery to deal an extra punch. So I'm saying screw the rules. And that's 2 more punches. So boom and boom. He's 1 thing away from being dead here. All right. But he gets to go now. But that's fine. I got some wild tokens in my... He's moving to spot F. So it's whether or not I can catch him. He is bamming, so I will discard this. Okay. And then he is putting out... He wants to go 1 of each here. We can accommodate that. And then we are doing civilians. So this is cleared and this is cleared. We have done a pretty good job of keeping the areas open. All right, so this literally is my hand now. This is all the cards I have left. But I've got some wild tokens I can spend here. He is 2 spots away. So we're going to play this to move here. I'm going to play this to move up with him. And then I'll use this punch to punch him, and he is defeated. So there you go. Here's my thoughts on Commander solo mode. Not worth it. I would much rather, honestly, after all of the different... I was not keen on the Professor X management solo mode. I'm not too keen on this one. I would still much rather prefer either playing the original solo mode, where you were playing with 3 heroes and you had a giant deck of all of them mixed up, and you got to just choose out of the cards in your hand who you played, or playing 2 or 3 handed. It's so easy in this game, and you can feel very vulnerable when you're the only miniature on the board, as you could see here, especially against Spot. I messed it up at the beginning, but corrected it. But basically, I was taking a hit every single time from him because I was the only one on the board. There was no spreading out of the damage at all. Luckily, I picked a good character to somewhat avert that damage in the end. But there you go. I also feel like this particular boxed set was not a good boxed set to introduce the Commander solo mode. Now, is this expansion worth getting? If you are trying to introduce yourself to Marvel United, I would not make this your first box. I have heard other people say it, and I will say it again. It's all Spider-Man. So unless you are a huge Spider-Man fan, go get a different box elsewhere where there's some more variety. Marvel, X-Men, this would be my third choice of starter box. Now, also, this one has some extra stuff. This one's throwing in starting cards. This one's throwing in supervillain mode, commander mode, equipment, battle plan cards. There's more in this box to make it a little more convoluted than you might want for a starter box. Now, if you already have Marvel United content, this is a great thing to just mix in. You've got villains, you've got anti-heroes, and then you've got 6 new heroes. So you're getting a lot of content in this one box. You're also getting some equipment, you're getting new cards, you're getting a whole new set of starting tokens if you want those. This is definitely worth picking up if you are a huge Marvel United fan. Like I said, is it worth picking up for purely the commander mode? No, because you can go find those rules online, print them off if you want, or just read them off your iPad and be able to play commander mode. This is not the box to do it with, in my opinion. But since I love this game and own all the content for this game, this was just another piece that I needed to make my collection complete, and I'm happy that I have it. I have friends who are big Spider-Man fans, so if I go and play with them, I'll be sure I have this box on hand. But I certainly would not say that this is my all-time favorite box out of all of the Marvel United boxes. So that's just my opinion on it. Again, it's worth picking up, but I would not say it's worth picking up for purely the commander mode. And if it's going to be your first introduction into Marvel United, I would go somewhere else. I would go get the original one you can get it for like $15 these days, which is a steal from Walmart or other Amazon places and things like that. Go get one of those to start off with, not this one. But again, it's a great content. I do like how some of these Spider-Men work with the web shooting and lots of good movement. But there wasn't anything here that I'm like blown away by. Like, oh my gosh, this is the best new stuff in a box of Marvel United. Anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. That was it for our coverage of Marvel United SpiderGeddon. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a great day.